Right, so my nan rang me up the other day and she was like, Benji, you know now you've got your tutorials back up and running, your computer's working and stuff like that? I said, yeah. She was like, well, can you do me a favour? Because I've been following your tutorials, can you make an animation state and make the other players able to see me and my animations? And I was like, oh, Nan, I'm watching Bad Boys 2. I can't really be bothered at a minute. Like, I've done the 2 tutorials, do you know what I mean? I'm only one guy. She was like, please, I need it. And I was like, oh, fine, you know what? Just because you're my nan, I'll do it for you. So here we are. Welcome guys to a brand new tutorial on how to get your animations working in MLAPI. So just to show you what I mean is, as you can see, there's 2 people in the scene. One of them's walking, absolutely fine. You can see an animation's working. This is the client, actually, that's what we're walking about at the minute. But you can see his animations are working. Goes into idle animation, fine. Goes into little bob ball animation, absolutely cool. Goes big, walking animation. So basically that's what we're intending to do in this tutorial. So first thing you want to be doing, you want to be getting your animations from your character into an animator. If you don't know how to set up an animator, go watch a tutorial on it. You can do it single player, multiplayer, it's the same way. Don't matter how you do it, just watch tutorials on animators and stuff like that, and it'll be the exact same way, because this is not the network side, this is single player, your side type thing. So basically you're going to need to get your animator, which I have it in this player map folder. And what you do need to do is, so I'm just going to pull my model out just to kind of show you what I mean. In your player prefab, you're going to have to add a network animator and a normal animator. And then in the controller, you just drag this anim controller into this controller variable. It'll set that there. And then within the network animator, you need to drag this animator controller, the actual script itself, into the animator variable of the network animator, and double tick any conditions you've got, because I want people to be able to see them basically. And that's set up in a sense for other people to see. If you didn't have this network animator, people won't be able to see it. If you had the normal animator, you'd be able to see it. You'll be able to see walking about and stuff like that. But if you didn't have the network animator, other people won't be able to see it. So that's how to set the actual animator up. Easy peasy. Now, within code, to get it working, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. If you're doing a WASD movement, it's a little bit easier, because all you need to do is get key up, get key down, get key, and then set the conditions to whatever you need them to be. But for this actual click to move type thing, you need to be able to get the velocity. So this is this bit here. You should already, if you followed the previous tutorials, you should already have this nav mesh path pending, and then remaining distance, stopping distance, have path, nav velocity, square magnitude. You should already have that. So essentially all you need to do is you need to get the condition from the animator and basically act how you want it to act. So essentially, I'll just go through the script real quickly. So you need to get the animator first of all. So public animator, I've just called it anim because that's what they are, the animations. And in the start function, I've put anim.transform.getComponentAnimator, because the actual animator controller is on the same prefab as this actual player controller script. So that's easy. We're just getting that. Now you don't have to actually assign that to every player. It'll just automatically assign to whomever player joins the game. Then I've done the debug speed equal to the nav mesh speed, just because I needed to be able to have a visual representation of how quick the player was actually going. Then in the debug speed equals to animation state 1. So basically what this is how I've done it. I'll go and show you what I mean. So if I go to my animator, I'm controlling my idle, my walk, through an animation state. So basically if it equals 0, then you're going to be idling. If it equals 1, then you're going to be walking, basically. It's as simple as that. So because it equals 1 and the debug equals 2, essentially what happens is the debug equals 2, so the animation state equals 1, basically. So you're walking, essentially. And then in the nav mesh pending, so basically this thing here essentially gets the player's velocity, and if it equals 0, then you need to be playing the idle animation, basically. So I'm setting the integer and the animation state to 0, and the nav mesh speed to 0, and the stopping distance to 0. So you're not actually moving anywhere, and it's playing the idle animation. But if you click the input.getKeyUp mouse, so basically if you're clicking on the floor and you're moving about, basically, the nav mesh equals 2, and this is where the previous thing comes into play, where if the nav mesh equals 2, then the debug speed is going to equal 2, and then that's when the animation state will play walk. So essentially I don't actually need the debug. All I could do is I could put that in there, and it'd walk. It'd do the exact same as if I did this. It's just a little bit of extra code so I can see the debug of the nav mesh speed. And that is pretty much it. So basically what you need to do is you need to find out what your conditions are called. So then within your script you can access these conditions via the animator script, which again is on your prefab. I'm trying to make this as less confusing as I can, but this is basically your animator. This is the animator that you need to access to be able to access these. It's just a big old web of crap, basically. But go watch, there'll be a bajillion different tutorials out there for how to set up an animator. A million. That'll explain it 10 times better than me. But essentially, you need the network animator, and that's it. But also, within script, you need to know how to access your animator from script, which again, another person's tutorial that's done animators will explain to you how to access from script, but I've essentially just done that for you anyway. God. I don't think I took a breath from that whole bloody tutorial. I mean, Nan better fucking like this. I'll beat her up. I will actually beat her up. Jesus Christ. I'm going to get demonetised. Not that I'm monetised anyway, but you know what I mean. So yeah, guys, that is how to add animations into your game. That was such a long-winded video. I could have just... do you know what? The previous video was 16 minutes long. I don't know what I was doing for 16 minutes. I'm going to be honest with you. But yeah, I've been Mr. Benji. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment down below on how your day's been. Mine's been quite crap. I got rained off from work. Been and worked out, and here I am making a tutorial for you guys. So yeah, thank you to me Nan for making me do this tutorial. Thank you to you guys. And until the next tutorial, I'll see you in a bit.